I started getting a ton of notifications from TikTok on my phone, and it was at 20,000 and then 40,000. It just kept going up and up and up until we reached 1 million. We gained thousands of followers, and it was kind of that little confidence boost I think that we needed to be like, okay, maybe we can do this. People always say, like, how do you guys have a perfect relationship? We don't. We have arguments, we have disagreements, just like anybody. Someone also asked if I'm on birth control. I am not. Hello guys, and welcome back to our channel. Today my husband is not gonna be in the video. That is because he is on kid duty, and I'm gonna be doing a little girl chat with you guys. You guys had a lot of questions for me on Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram or Regal on Instagram, make sure you follow us over there. Put my username right here. The plan for this video is I'm gonna do a little get ready with me, because one of the #1 questions you guys always ask me is what my makeup routine is, what products I use. The whole video I'll just be getting ready, and then I'll be answering questions, and I can also talk about different products I'm using, products I like, and whatnot. So we are just gonna get right into it. So question #1 is what made me start social media. Before I get into that, the first step that I typically do in my makeup is I first like to moisturize my face. So I typically put tallow on my face first. I love the way it makes me feel hydrated. So great. One of my favorite products just for like a really natural look is this Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint SPF 40. So what made us start social media? My husband has always had a dream of doing music. He's so talented. If you have not heard any of his music, he goes by Regal Noise on all platforms, on Spotify, on all socials. I'll put some of his music links up here if you want to check it out. But I was blown away by the talent he had, and he expressed to me, how it's a desire of his to be able to, if you could, be an artist for a living, a music artist. I was like, okay, I love you, I want to marry you, let's make this dream happen. Put a little bit more on and get a full coverage look. And then people started telling Justin, aka Regal, you see it on TikTok, there's a lot of artists that songs are like blowing up because of TikTok. And so I was like, okay. Well, I had tried a few videos and nothing happened right away, so I kind of just was kind of like, whatever. I didn't completely understand it. And then a few months later we got married and we were on our honeymoon, and there was a hurricane coming. We were supposed to stay in New Orleans for a few days, so we had to reroute and went to San Antonio. I can't remember if it was the first night we were in San Antonio or the second night. My husband was like, oh my gosh, you need to come in here. And he had this crazy bubble bath, like insane. And there was bubbles everywhere. Like I've never seen that big of a bubble bath before. So I was recording and I was like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? I'll link the video right here, so if you guys want to watch it. It's our first viral video. So after we were watching it laughing, I thought it was funny, and he was like, hey, you should post that on TikTok. And I was like, I don't know, I mean, nothing's really happening. I'm not able to get a video to like go off. And he was like, just post it. And so I was like, okay. So I did a quick little edit. I put the splish splash, I was taking a bath, that song on it, and we posted it, and like right away nothing happened. And I was like, see. And then a few days later I started getting a ton of notifications from TikTok on my phone, and I was like, what is going on? And I looked, and the video started going up, and it was at 20,000 and then 40,000. It just kept going up and up and up until we reached 1 million. We gained thousands of followers, and it was kind of that little confidence boost I think that we needed to be like, okay, maybe we can do this. So we tried a bunch of different things. We also did like this little Chick-fil-A video, and I had posted it when we got back from our honeymoon, and that got a few 100,000 views, and so we started growing more. There was a lot of trial and error for like the first year. We would get some to go off, some just kind of flopped, and we kind of found like the couple niche or lifestyle niche was kind of our area that we kind of were finding success in, and we had fun doing. So we're like, okay, let's keep going with this. And eventually it just kind of took off. It took us quite a while that first year. Once we moved to this house, I feel like that's when we started seeing some pretty consistent momentum. And then when I got pregnant with Jace, then it kind of really took off. And then when Jace was born, we went full time. So it took us about like 2 years of posting pretty consistently for it to become like a full-time job for us. So there was a lot of hours of work and editing and filming that went into it. So yeah, if you are interested in being a content creator, just keep going for it. Do not give up. If you have a vision and you are really wanting to do it, just keep going for it. You're gonna find an audience that likes what you're posting. Like if you don't feel discouraged, if you're like, oh, no one wants to hear from me, or what would I even post? Just post what you want, and I'm sure there will be people that want to watch it. It took us a while to be able to get to this point, but I'm so thankful we did not give up and just throw in the towel when it seemed like things might not be successful, because life would be so different right now. And I'm very, very grateful for this job. Obviously, this has turned into a whole different thing that we weren't even really expecting, so this is kind of like the main thing. But another main thing is we still are really hoping that through this and our platform we can get Regal's music to take off, because I just know if we can get that right one to pop, it's gonna happen. He's really so talented and I'm really proud of him. So next question is, what would you say is a perfect gift for somebody? One of my ways that I love to show people love is gift giving. I love to find just very meaningful gifts to give to people, and my husband always says that I'm the best gift giver. I always try to be really intentional, and that's really important to me. So I honestly think such a beautiful and meaningful gift for anyone in your life that could be very special is a story worth. With Mother's Day coming up and Father's Day coming up, if you're not sure what to get, this is honestly such a perfect gift. So how it works is you will purchase a 1-year subscription for your loved one for this memoir. This is a sample book. We are currently writing one for my mother-in-law. This is just the example. But each week's Storyworth will email the storyteller, so the person that you are making this book for, questions and prompts that they can answer, and then your loved one, aka the storyteller, can either reply via email or they can do it on storyworth.com. You can also do an audio recording over phone and it'll audio transcribe it, and you can also attach photos. For example, this person was talking about their car and they included a specific photo about that in here, which I think is really cool, because sometimes you need a photo to capture something, or you can put like photos of them like throughout their life and different pictures of them, which I think is really cool. Like, this is such a cool concept. I love this and I really want to do this for all of my loved ones. It is such a beautiful way to capture someone's story, and it's not overwhelming too, because it's not like you're having to like sit down with them for hours and just like jot this out. Like, it's just like a weekly thing that you just can do, and then at the end of the year they get this beautiful memoir of their life, and that you can pass down to your family in future generations and just share that legacy, that person in your life. When you purchase Storyworth, it can send instantly to their email. You don't have to wait for shipping or nothing like that, so it is such a perfect last minute thing. You could be literally about to leave to go visit your mom for Mother's Day, and you could be like, oh shoot, I need to get her something. You can sign out right there, boom, present. And not just any present, a super meaningful present. So if this sounds like it could be a perfect gift for a loved one, you can click the link below in my description and you can get $10 off your year-long Storyworth subscription and hardcover book. And thank you so much to Storyworth for sponsoring today's video. So the next question is, how did you know that he was the one? Before I get into that, next step that I like to do is I usually like to do some type of bronzer contour. Also guys, just a side note, I'm not a makeup expert. This is shade Spill the Tea. Also, I'll put a link for all of my makeup products I'm using in the description too, in case anyone is wanting to, you know, get any of it. So how did I know that my husband was the one? When I met him, there was just so much peace. We laid our relationship at God's feet. Like, our first date, we prayed together. Like, right away within the first 2 weeks, I was almost 100% positive that this was gonna be my husband, just because of how God was so in the midst of everything in our relationship. If they are pushing you closer to God, I think that is a huge indicator that they could be the one for you, and that is what Justin did right away. I'm gonna do blush next. This is the Dibs Backstage Duo. Spoiler alert, you got, whoa, it's gonna blend in, don't worry. So I really like this Dibs one right here. Sometimes like whatever lip color I'm using, I also like to use that for blush, because I feel like it just kind of has like this consistent like look. So the next question is, how does it feel to have a perfect life? Something to tell you, I do not. I know people can feel that way about people that are on social media a lot, but I promise you that we are all people. We all have ups, we all have downs. Nobody has a perfect life. I certainly do not. People always say like, how do you guys have a perfect relationship? We don't. We have arguments, we have disagreements, just like anybody. I feel very blessed and I appreciate the things that God has given me, a beautiful family, and I struggle with anxiety. My life is not perfect. Nobody's life is perfect. Yeah, definitely don't have a perfect life, but I do have a perfect savior. You guys, I completely missed a step in my routine. I usually do this after I put the skin tint on, but this is the Ilia concealer. This is a concealer I've liked for a while. I've tried other ones too, but this is the one I've been currently using. I just like to put some concealer under my eyes. My goal with makeup is to just like look natural. I mean, obviously there's been times where I've done more of a full glam, but I personally like to just keep it natural. I just like to cover up my blemishes, just kind of have a nice like dewy, glowy look. It's kind of what I always go for. Next question. Did you guys do pre-marriage preparation at your church? We did it through the pastor who married us. I highly recommend it. Go with someone that you guys trust and you feel like that you can both talk to. So when Justin moved back from Texas, he was selling cars, he was making really good money, but when he came and moved back home, he took a pay cut and was working for his mom. And so when we met, I was working as a nurse and he was working painting and I was making more money than him. Transparently, my ultimate career goal was to be a wife and a mom. It just kind of concerned me as we were getting closer to marriage because I'm like, oh boy, I really desired to be a stay-at-home mom, and you know, he was making decent money, but I just didn't know if it would be enough to like for me to be able to stay home with the kids and stuff. It was the one thing we kind of kept going back and forth on, and I just feel like I wasn't getting the answer that I was wanting, but he also thought I was asking something different. We were just having some miscommunication, and marriage counseling, premarital counseling really helped us. Now we're both home. It's just kind of crazy how it was such a big worry of mine and how God really just went above and beyond. Like, I wanted to stay home with my kids. I didn't realize I was going to be able to stay at home with my husband too. Like, crazy. God is good. Very thankful. Next, I like to do just a little bit of highlighter. So the next question is, when did I first accept Jesus into my life? So I grew up Christian. I've always believed in Jesus just from, you know, a young age. That's just how I was raised. I can go into a full depth testimony another time if you guys are interested in hearing that. As I got older and after I graduated high school, I had went through some things and I decided, you know what, I really need to fully commit my life and have a relationship with Jesus. I always, like I said, I always believed in him, but I fully just like dedicated my life to him when I turned 18. All right, so next I'm gonna do my brows. I really like this L'Oreal Brow Stylist Shape and Fill. I get the color, I think this is just the blonde one. So really quick question someone wants to know is how tall we are. I say 5'4", I'm really 5'3" and 3/4, but I round up. And Regal says he's 6 feet, but he's like 5'11" and 3/4 or a quarter. That's how tall we are. Someone asked me to, like, as a redhead, what is some of the makeup things I use. I know specifically like brow wise people have asked like what I use as a redhead. I personally, my eyebrows, I'm kind of a weird redhead, you guys. I don't get a lot of freckles and I can tan. I know you guys probably haven't seen me tan, but when I lived in Hawaii, fun fact, I lived in Hawaii for a year, I got so tan. I will put a photo of me on the screen. I got so tan when I was in Hawaii and I did not realize I could get tan like that as a redhead, but I did. But I personally use a lot of like fair products because I am pretty fair. My eyebrows are not like red. They're kind of like a blonde color. So I just use like typically like a light blonde brow pencil. And I know some redheads like to use like brown mascara. I honestly haven't tried that. I've tried like black brown before. I just like to use black. That was a long time ago that I used that though, so I could experiment again maybe one day. The eyebrows are done. Not my best eyebrow day. One thing I hate about coloring eyebrows is I'll like the way one of them looks and then I try to do the other one and the other one looks crazy, and it's like lining them up and making them look even is the hardest part. So another question, someone also asked if I'm on birth control. I am not. We do natural family planning. We have done that since we got married. I'm happy with that decision. I know some people have had side effects of birth control and I just wasn't wanting to experiment with that. So yeah, it's worked really good for us. And I know some people use like Oura rings to track their temperature. I haven't done that yet. I've thought about that. So if you do use Oura ring and then hook it up to app, let me know if you like that, because I thought that might be a good way. But with tracking, sometimes I'm not the best at even taking my temperature. I just know like, okay, here's the rough window of when I could get pregnant, and you know, we're just use alternative preventative methods during that time. Anyways, my most asked makeup question is eyelash routine. What I like to do first is I like to curl my eyelashes. One of my favorite eyelash curlers is this one by e.l.f. It is kind of dirty, so ignore that. It's like $5 or something like that. It's so cheap. I did order this like heated eyelash curler, so we'll see. I'm gonna try that eventually soon. I don't just like hold it, I like kind of like pulse it, if that makes sense, until I get like a good curl. So once I get them to like my desired curl of like how I'd want them to look before mascara on, I'll put mascara on. There are a few mascaras I like. Right now, my go-to, and has been for a while, is this Maybelline Lash Sensational Full Fan Effect. I believe this is the It's the black. I can't remember. It's like the blackest black or if it's just black. I forgot like the name of it. For this specific mascara, getting the waterproof is key. For some reason, when I don't do waterproof, it like weighs my lashes down and I don't get that curl, but with the waterproof, I keep the curl much better. So I haven't, like I said, I don't know if that's how it is for like every mascara, but at least for this specific one. So I'm gonna do my mascara and answer another question. A lot of questions about motherhood. Quick one is, do we want more kids? We've answered this in a few videos, but just to catch you up to speed, I ideally would like 4. We definitely want 1 more and then we'll just take it, you know, 1 at a time. But yes, I would like more children. Another question was, what advice would you give to a first-time mom? I would give you the advice to give yourself grace. You know, there's a lot of ups and downs in motherhood. It's a beautiful thing. It is one of my favorite things I've ever done in my whole life. Your life is completely changed. It's a lot of sacrifice, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. Don't be afraid to ask for help to whoever is in your life, even if it's like within the community resources, to just, you know, get help, because motherhood is a journey. It's a lot. You're learning a lot. It's a complete transition in your life. Another big thing, honestly, the most important thing is lean on God. God cares for you. He cares. He loves your children even more than you do, which doesn't even seem possible, but he does. And he cares for you. He cares for your children. So lean on him. And honestly, that's the best advice. Other tips is take time for yourself throughout the day you can, even if it's literally just a minute. Taking care of yourself is also taking care of your kids, right? The years are short, as they say, but the days can be long, and they can. You know, some days are longer than others. Some days everything goes perfectly. Some days you're like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm going crazy. It's such a long day. Another thing too, I've heard people say, there's gonna be a time in my life where I'm gonna look back and wish that there was toys everywhere, and I'm gonna wish that there was fingerprints on the windows, but I'm gonna miss these moments so much because they're only little for so long. I had to cut the camera off because I spilled my bubbler everywhere. But oh wow, oh my gosh, I put some concealer on my eyelids. I was gonna say, here's the finished eye look. Literally not my finish. I don't know if you can see my eyelashes, but here is my finished eyelash look. For the most part, it's not the best job, not the worst job, but I really love that mascara because a lot of times it's on sale for under like $10, which really good for mascara. My hair is looking a little crazy. We're gonna do a little dry shampoo. So yeah, those are some of my mom tips. If I think of any more, I'll write them on the screen. Being a mom is my favorite title. So this is what I like to put on my lip slot. I use a lot of different types of lip products. This is maybe my go-to. It's Ilia lip oil in the shade Linger. Tinted lip oil, but I really like this one. I have other ones that I like too, but this one is kind of a go-to. And once I put some type of like color on my lip, I know that's in lip oil, but I also like to put like some type of gloss. I really like Summer Fridays. I really liked a lot of Too Faced's ones, but I'm gonna put some Summer Fridays over top of this. A few quick questions I'll touch on is, someone asked how you can see our birth vlog videos and our birth postpartum Q&As and stuff, but asked how I had my kids. My son, I was induced. I had him C-section. Haven, I had an epidural, but I had a vaginal birth. Someone also was wondering, has becoming a mom increased strengthen our relationship, me and my husband? I would say yes, definitely becoming parents has. It can sometimes be areas of tension too. I feel like sometimes our disagreements are things about just like with our kids, and maybe we're not seeing maybe like eye to eye on a certain situation with them, or especially after a long day. But overall, I would say it definitely has strengthened us and brought us closer together. That is all the questions for today, and here is the finished makeup look. If you like these kind of sit down videos with me, I definitely can do more. If the guys would like one with Regal, I can definitely make that happen. He probably won't be doing the makeup, but he could be doing something else. Thank you guys so much for watching, and again, I just want to remind you of the Storyworth offer. I'll put it on the screen. You can get that by clicking the link in my description. But love you guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.
I'm just making a special appearance for the vibes.